In this video, I'm going to discuss a simple strategy to generate 30% plus returns annually through stock markets by putting your money in the equity and even the ETFs without much of the active involvement. All you require is being active only at the month end, and that too for a couple of hours. So that's not asking for a lot, right? And I'll also explain मैं इसमें ये चीज़ भी समझाऊंगा how to select the stock. And to select the stock, what will be the scan and what will be the criteria to make the scan. Scan में क्या logic है वो चीज़ भी मैं आपको explain करूँगा. कैसे entry लेनी है, how do you take the entry, where do you take the entry, for what prices, क्या आपका उसमें stop loss रहेगा, what will be the SL, and the exit plan. Some strategies work where you exit as soon as the momentum comes. जैसे ही prices ऊपर जाती है, the strategies require you कि आप उसमें से exit करें, while some strategies are that you wait, that you ride the trend. How do I know whether to exit as soon as the momentum comes or to stay for the trend? I'll give you the answer for that, which will take care of the exit. Then I'll also tell you how to position size if you really are looking for a 30% plus returns in the market. I'll tell you that. And I'll also give you a lot of recent examples that I've shared on this channel. You can explore the playlist section over there. You can find those videos. So I'll take the examples of the recent examples as well as the old examples, so as to give you a good template that you should be looking for in the markets. So first of all, let's talk about stock selection, because I believe this is really important. If you get the stock selection right, I think it's going to be good. अगर आप stocks सही नहीं रह रहे हैं तो फिर कोई भी strategy है उसकी जो execution part है उससे आप क्या ही कर लेंगे. तो जो पहली चीज़ है, the first thing is you have to look for stocks that can give you quick 30% plus moves. So you have to see वो वाले stocks जो 10%, 15%, right, 10, 15, 20% वाले नहीं. आपको वो stocks देखने हैं जिनमें capability है, can give you 30% or so returns. How do you know that? DNA Academy का lecture number 1 आप देख सकते हो, it's available for you. It will help you. Then I'm giving you a contraction scan right now. I'll give you contraction scan. You may proceed with an expansion scan if you already have, or the monthly CB scan that you have. बट यहाँ पे मैं आपको एक कॉन्ट्रैक्शन स्कैन भी दूंगा ताकि आपके पास दोनों पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू रहें, सो दैट यू हैव दीज बेस्ट ऑफ द बोथ वर्ल्ड्स. एंड दिस स्कैन लिंक विल बी अवेलेबल इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन, सो मेक श्योर यू सी दैट. So let's talk about the scan now. So we are on the website called Charting, and it is only available for the Indian markets. But anyways, if you are operating in the US markets or anywhere else, try to understand the logic behind, so you'll be able to do much better and code anywhere. First of all, RSI, right? Now, what exactly is RSI? I'll be making a video on this, so tune in for that. But anyways, for now, just take it. Weekly RSI will be greater than 50. Monthly will be greater than 50 as well. I'll explain in depth someday later. Then the monthly close has to be greater than the monthly 15 moving average. Now, why 15 again? That is an important point. I'll not get into the details right now, but 15 somewhere lies between the value and the momentum. That's why the number 15 has been selected. The daily close of the stock has to be greater than number 15. Usually in India, what you will see is the stocks which are less than priced 10 or even 15 or 20 are usually illiquid and not tradable. So might as well just avoid those. So इसलिए यहाँ पे number 15 use किया गया है. उसके बाद you will see that daily EMA, the volumes have to be greater than 15,000 stocks on an average for the past 20 days. You can make it from 15 to 50 or even 100. That's absolutely dependent on you, but try to stick with it. This is more than enough. And then this is, so whatever this was to look for very basic things in this stock. To look for the momentum. To look for the stock is good. The stock is indecent. Now the contraction has started. Now these are some really important queries here. These queries basically are looking for an inside bar. ये जो आप 4 queries that you see here, ये आपको बताती है कि करंट जो मंथ है, इट इज़ एन इनसाइड मंथ. दैट्स ऑल इट टेल्स यू. नथिंग मोर देन दैट, नथिंग लेस देन दैट. सो दिस टेक्स केयर ऑफ द कॉन्ट्रैक्शन. नाउ व्हाट इज इंपॉर्टेंट इज वेयर द कॉन्ट्रैक्शन इज हैपनिंग. द कॉन्ट्रैक्शन हैज टू बी नियर टू द 10 मूविंग एवरेज. व्हाट आई मीन बाय दैट इज, सो हियर द नंबर इज यूज्ड 0.3, दैट मीन्स 30%. Usually if the price is within 30% of your 10 moving average on the monthly, that's still a decent amount. Now you will say 30% is a lot, but let me tell you, यहाँ पे आप monthly पे, you are at the monthly. So the scale is obviously going to be big. So don't look from the perspective of a daily time frame. You are on the monthly. So you have to take care of that. And then there's the next query, which is currently shut down. I've shut it down. This basically tells you that in the last 20 months, there has to be at least one crossing of 10 going above 20. This is again very optional, and I would strongly suggest you that you keep it turned off. Why? Because monthly you will find a lot of opportunities where the 10 will never actually go below 20. Because why? The monthly is such a big time frame that this never happens. Or even if it happens, you will be missing out on good opportunities. तो आप opportunities को miss ना करें, आप इस चीज़ को turned off रखें. अगर आपको इस query का use करना है, if you want to make use of this logic, of this code in your personal scan, you can just copy it by clicking on the blue or the red, wherever you want it, and then make use of this in the ways you want. That's why I've kept it. Otherwise, I could have happily deleted it. But anyways, ताकि आप इसको use कर पाए, ये चीज़ यहाँ पर है. उसके बाद एक और important query है. There is another important query, which is that in the past 20 months, there has to be the maximum percent change of a single monthly candle has to be more than 20%. Now, this is really important. This has to be there, right? Now, why again 20%? Because see, at times, the stocks give you moves of 25%, 28%, 29% or so. I'll still consider that. If I take this number to be 30, then you will be missing out on a lot of stocks which go up 25, 28%. And I think that is still near to 30%, talking about M scale, that is the monthly scale. So very basic scan, and if you run, let's say if I run it right now, how many scans do you get? 502. And if you see, usually at the end of the month, you will get the numbers to be somewhere around 400 and 200, between that. 350, at times 250. But again, spending a couple of hours and you will be getting a day. And I think 300 stocks to go through is not a big of a deal. And I'll exactly tell you in the chart examples, the practical examples, कि आपको देखना क्या है, what exactly do you need to look at. That also makes your life much easier. So now, what to look for in a chart? 3 simple things that you have to look for. The first thing is there has to be a recent crossover of moving averages. The moving averages can be any. For an example, I've shown here 10 crossing over 20. It can be 20 crossing over 50. You can see here the black marked dot. It could be 10 crossing over 20, which happened here. But it has to be recent. That is, it is clearly visible that it has happened, just a few months back. Not like it has happened a couple of years ago or so. It should happen a few months ago, that you can clearly see here. The second thing that you may look for is there is some breakout to happen and consolidation is happening nearby. What exactly do I mean by that? If you see this example, what is happening? See, over here you see these 2 inside bars inside this candle, right at the 10 moving average, the black line that you see. If the price goes out from here, what will happen? There will be a breakout that will happen and the consolidation is happening right below this breakout level, right? That is exactly what I'm looking for. And when you get this is also a good thing. So at times you might not get a crossover of moving averages very recently, but you have this scenario, this situation happening on the chart. Please proceed with that. The third thing that you have to take care of always, I would say, is always have good SEBI candles. The blue candles, or in your chart, the green candles, they have to be good. What do I mean by that? That means very simple. Less wick element. You see these wicks on either side of the candle, they have to be less, especially when the stock prices are going up. What is a good example of that? All the blue candles that you see on the chart are the examples of that. And all the candles which are not blue are examples of what it should not be. I hope that is clear. One more thing that will be there. If it's there, it's really good. It's good to have that. That the open is near the low. That is important. If you see this candle and this candle as well, all these candles, even the candle currently, have one thing in common, and that is the open is very near to the low. Well, what does it tell me? It tells me a very important thing about the trade management. What exactly that is, I'll tell it to you now when we discuss about the entries and the exits going on to the charts. So take care of these things if you have these things, and this is exactly what you're looking for. So Even if your scan, जो आपका scan है, if it gives you 300 names or even 400 names at the end of the month, don't worry that. This is exactly the template that you have to look for. I've taken these two examples for you. This is exactly what you have to look for. I'll tell you more now. But if you have this, keep those stocks in the watch list. If you don't have it, simply remove it. It'll make your life easier and you'll be probably left with 20 stocks somewhat for the entire month. So now we are at a chart and we look what is happening, where you could have traded, what could have been the plan. If I see this chart and I zoom out a little bit, it was doing good. There was a breakout level that had to happen, which was here. Let's assume we are here. I'll tell you that this will come in your scan. So if let's say you are sitting over here you have a candle which has gone up 34%. So if you remember the scanning criteria, it has been fulfilled over here. Now, at this point of time, that is the month of September, the entire month of the September ended like this. It was an inside month right above the 10 moving average on the monthly. And in this consolidation, what was happening? There was a breakout level that had to happen, which did not happen, right? So there is an event that you are looking at. You might say that, I don't believe you. Did the stock actually come in the scan? Let's see that in the scan itself. 1st of September, right? That means the entire month of September 2023, it's spent being an inside bar. So it should come, it should fulfill the criteria. So I'll search and, 29th of September, the stock is present over there, right? Fine. So it came in the scan and these kind of stocks will come for sure. So this is the month that the stock is in the scan, is coming. Let's go and see how the weekly look like. This is where the month of September started and by end of the month. So yeah, this is how it looked. This is how the month of September ended. And since then, this is what has happened in this stock. Now, what do? This is where you identified the stock exactly at the close of this week. After that, what is important is where do you buy? Now, pretty simple answer. If I just take the monthly, one simple point is you buy above the high of this, and if this is an inside bar, then the best place to place your SL will be the previous bar's low, which will come somewhere around. Let's see that. Let's say you buy here, 20% SL. Now, a lot of people would be afraid, or they'll think 20% SL is just not it, because it will not allow you to have a big position size. Is that right or wrong? It's right as well and it's wrong as well. Why? Why is it right? Well, yes, 20%, with that you'll have to take a big risk on the capital. If you're fine with that, I think 20% is justified. But if you're not fine with that, then definitely you'll need to have some other way. What is the other way? Well, you can have the low of this bar, which makes your 20% SL to a 13%, which is still big, but relatively much reduction has happened. Is there any other way? If I tell you any other way, that will be called as micromanaging a trade, right? If you want to do that, feel free to do. What will you do and how you will do? You'll go to the weekly, and in those weeks, listen to me clearly, those weeks which are either the inside weeks or the weeks which are coming to the moving averages, those are the weeks you will look to buy, which means it's a pretty simple idea. Is this an inside week? No. Is this an inside week? No. Will you buy above the high? You buy some quantity, and the rest of the quantity you buy in the weeks here, which are coming to the moving averages. So this bar was coming to the moving averages, you buy here. What could be the condition? The condition has to be it closes above 20 moving average of the weekly. Write down these points, these are going to be important. Okay, and then you get an inside bar, you buy here. Now when you're buying in this, isn't it exactly the similar candle looking like which we just saw on the monthly, but this time we have it on the weekly? Well, yes, it is pretty similar. So where will you buy? Let's say you just buy here. What will be the SL now? From 20 to 13 to 9%. So yeah, we are definitely working on that. Now what you can do is the same thing that you were doing on the monthly. You buy above the high of this, which makes your SL, let's say if you buy here and keep your SL below the low, 10%. Fine. Then what do we do? Is this inside bar? Yes, you buy again here in this week. Is this an inside week? Yes, it is an inside week. I'll just remove all the drawings. This is an inside week. Yes, this is an inside week. Yes, so you buy Is this an inside week? Yes. What strategy will you use? Previous bar's low will be your SL. So yeah, somewhere around, since you are playing for a monthly move, you're definitely not here for 10% or 15% move, right? Especially when there is a breakout that is about to happen and the DNA of the stock, it tells you that it will move beyond 30%. For that, I think I can take a SL of 7% or so. Is this an inside bar? No. Do I buy this? No. Is this an inside bar? Yes. But is it near to the moving average? No. So do I buy it? No. Is this near to the moving average? Not really. It is coming towards moving average. Is this near to the moving average? Not really. Pretty much at the same level. But this is an inside bar which has been created after taking a touch of 10 moving average. Do you buy here? It's your discretion. You want to buy? You buy. Is this an inside bar? Yes. Right at the 10 moving average? Yes. So if you proceed to buy here, what will be the SL? Well, the SL has been reduced down to 4.7%. Let's take it 5. So I think from 20%, you can go to SL of 5. One more thing that you have missed is, see how many weeks have passed, your position hasn't made you much money. Why is that? Because yes, we have gotten the clue that the monthly is about to give me a move, right? Your setup, your strategy is about to work. But it is happening on monthly, which means the scale, the patience, everything has to be of the monthly. So patience is required. Not only just putting the money and spotting inside bars, patience is going to be important. And there will be times where these candles will be there. Stick to your SLs in these times. So you see, a couple of months just passed like that. But suddenly, the stock just went up and gave you, in a few weeks, 79% returns in what? Again, 2 months. Is that less? Absolutely not. Even if the SL was 20%, you are making 4 times your risk. Correct? Okay. Now the question is, how do I know whether to sell here, not to sell here, or actually to wait for this, and what do I do? How do I manage my position? The answer is pretty simple. See, this is the monthly, right? And you see the monthly is breaking out of a big base. That's what you call big large base. Now the books will tell you, if this has formed, then you can expect similar kind of move. That is not exactly true. I'm not saying you will get a 28 or 200 or 300% move here. But what is important is you count the number of bars on the monthly and you set some simple conditions on a daily time frame. What will be the condition on daily time frame? The simple condition that will be followed on the daily time frame will be that if the stock goes below 50 moving average, the low that it will make, that is, it will take a turn from 50 moving average. That will be the SL, right? So what do? Yes, you have to endure these things and you make this low. Now this low becomes the SL. After that, if it makes a higher low anywhere, that will be the SL now. So now this has become the SL 650. Your entry was here. And you simply wait. If the stock price closes below 50, it forms a higher low. That will become your SL. Now in this case, let's say the price went down like that. You will sell the stock here. Can't do anything. What you will make? You will be making 30%. Decent. If it doesn't turn now and if it turns now, what will happen? Let's say the SL will be hit and you will be making 50%. Or what if the stock just keeps going up? That's well and good. It will keep creating higher lows, which you can use to keep your SLs. The second condition that you can keep is if the 20 moving average in daily time frame crosses below 50, you will sell it. When these things work well, these things will work absolutely brilliantly well when the monthly is going into its all-time highs. There are no resistance on the left-hand side. It's going to work brilliantly then. So make sure that if you use this selling strategy to exit, this is the strategy that you follow. Anything else, in any other case, you will be in trouble. How do I know? I'll tell you. See it here. The stock gave you a good move here also, right? So let's see what happened. If I keep same rules of daily, just see what happened with this stock. How volatile it got, and it eventually, right, 20 crossed below 50. So probably this is the area you would have sold this stock if you are using this strategy. And I think that's still pretty good. But this time the stock is going up well. And why is that? Because you are into the all-time highs of the stock. So that makes all the difference. Now I'll show you a few stocks from the list that I've shared. It's available on the channel. So Global Vet happens to be one. And if you see clearly, there is an event moving average is crossing. Look at the candles. Look at this candle. Current month is running at 28%. And what can be targeted? Is there, open sky for the stock? Is there resistance on the left-hand side? Yes, there is resistance. So what may happen is the price may touch 203, and from there onwards, it may do whatever. It might go up. It might go down. How do I decide that? What do I do? Let's go on the weekly and see. Again, goes above 10 moving average and then comes back to the 10 moving average. That is where you buy. You go on to the daily and you see you clearly have a higher low, which can be used as an SL. So what do you do? Where do you buy? You place your buy orders here with your SL below this. SL is again 6.6%, but I think again you are not playing for 10% move or 8% move. You are going for bigger than that. So you play that. You play and you take the SL, you take the position size. Now what may happen with the stock? I've clearly told you. Now since the event was very fresh, that has happened on the left hand side, and the SEBI candles are absolutely brilliant, you are again getting a pretty similar move. It might take a couple of months more to actually reach here, but once it reaches here, what will you do? Pretty simple. Sell 50% of the stock. Why? Because see, it is a level of resistance. No one knows what will happen. The price may decide that it will again come back down in the range. So if you're greedy here and you hold on to everything, you might not make anything, might as well lose something. And even if, let's say, the stock doesn't say that, okay, I'll not come down like this, I'll actually just go up, do a little bit of down move, and then move up. In that case, well, you will stay in the trade because daily 20 will not cross below 50, right? And the rest of the 50% will be making you money. And if the stock gives a similar pattern exactly at this point of time, why? Because here, there will not be an event in the recent times, correct? But there will be event of breakout happening, which you can trade for. So you can add more positions over there. The ones you have booked, 50% you booked, add that position along with the profits that you made. And I think you will make good amount of money. So yeah, same goes for these stocks. There is an event, but do you like these candles here? I personally don't like. So what do? Ignore it for now. IRCTC, a good candle here. Away from 10 moving average. Now see, it has gone up 13%, but it is approaching an area of big resistance. You see this? This entire zone is of sellers. There is a wick. So a lot of volatility can come in the stock that you have to be aware of. But such a clean looking stock, right? See on the weekly what happened? Closed above 10. Inside bar right at the 10-week moving average. And since then, the stock has made you good, easy 12% I would say, with very small SLs available. If you buy above this, with your SL below the green bars low, 4% SL, then I think a pretty good 15% move. Mangalam Siemens, again, see this, what is happening. There was a breakout that was happening, but was the consolidation enough? Was the price near to the 10 moving average? It was not. Which means, yes, you may get a candle like this, but after that, it may come back down. Which tells you that you'll have to manage this actively. Which means, can you wait for the stock to do 20 crossing below 50? Not really. In that condition, you can have simpler SLs, I would say. Simpler SLs as in price closing below 20 moving average can be your SL. Price closing below 10 moving average can be your SL. Or 10 moving average going below 20 will be your SL. So from 20 to 50, we have come down to 10 to 20. That's how you basically manage, because I had the position in this 785. Made good money, but my plan is just for a few bucks, and then I think I'll be out very soon from the stock. Then we have this again. Are these candles the best candles? Absolutely not. And there is an element of wick. This is where the expansion actually stopped, because this made a wick on the upside. On the weekly, how does it look? See again. Price closes above 20, forms an inside bar which closes above 10 moving average at 10. You buy here. What will be your SL? See, pretty similar, right? You simply place your orders above here. This will be the higher low, 3.5%, and you can still make good money. Same goes for Hindustan Copper, right? Now see this stock, pretty brilliant, right? Was a part of a big base at 10 moving average, near to the resistance, good looking candles. Now I'll tell you one more thing here. That is the limitation of a contraction based scan. This will never come in your scan of inside bars because there was none. And that is why I always tell people that this is something, a problem. If you look going for the inside bars, you will at times miss these opportunities, right? But expansion scan will take care of everything. But again, that's up to you. Which one do you need? But here, what happened then? Well, the event was very fresh. 10-20 were very close, and there was a breakout also happening. And exactly for those reasons, you got such a good move. Since then, the stock has given you 160% returns, right? Has given you such good candles and still going up. If you see on the daily and if you see on the weekly, let me show you the weekly. How does it look like? Candles closing above, but never gave you the good opportunity to enter. Basically, from a risk perspective, if you buy here, what will be the SL? The low of this, which will come around 9%. It's still decent. Again, see what happened here. Price, inside bar, right at 10-day moving average. If you're buying in this week, what will be the SL? 14%. If you're buying in this week, what will be the SL? 10%. Pretty decent. How much do you make? 35%. Can it be done better? If you go to the daily time frame, I'll show you something. If you buy here, because it's the same thing that I showed you on the weekly, your SL can be here 5%, and you can make some good amount of money. From 14% to 5%, I think that is a pretty good SL to have. So just have a look. I've shared these with you. So look at the VTL, right? What is happening? We are away from the breakout zone, but we may reach over there in time. And see the weekly, what happened there? Crossed above 10 moving average inside bar. Small bar, right exactly at the 10, somewhere around 10. So you buy here, you see the daily, you will get even better structure. You see this? So that's exactly what you're waiting for. So there are more examples again. Havels, see, good breakout candle and now you are consolidating. Might give you an opportunity. Ipca Labs, this is exactly where I explained this. See the weekly, crosses above 10, gives you an inside bar and then a move comes. Same thing is happening over here again. So a lot of examples for you. See this also. There is an event but has gone up since a lot. And if you're planning to buy the stock, this will be your SL somewhere here. Denora, again, see the same thing. This can take months to actually reach this level. So if you go on the weekly, what is happening? 10 is not even above 20. And I think we'll need a good candle for that condition to be true, because I think it can come back down again. If it comes back down, 10 will again come below 20, and that is not a good thing. So we'll wait for that, and once that happens, you can start building the positions in these stocks. So yeah, pretty simple. Again, Star, why is it not working brilliantly well? You have the reason now. You are not at 10 moving average of the monthly. Bajaj Finserv is setting up good. So you may see what is happening over here. Goldium, see, it is in a range, and when the time comes, it might do good. But this has done a lot of damage to the structure of chart. ICIL, I think, has done pretty brilliantly well, gave us good trading opportunities here to participate in the move. Markson, see this pretty brilliant example. There is a breakout, the black line at 10 moving average. How does the weekly look? Let's see that. Again, see. Right here, the stock did not move. Why? I'll give you the reason. The price was simply away from 10 moving average. Here it was close to 10 moving average. So in the October, in your scan, in the November month, you get 50%, 57% clean move. And that month, what happened? Weekly crossed above 10 moving average. It's a different thing that it did not give you an inside bar on the weekly. But if you check the daily, you will definitely get a good structure. See this here. Inside bar just before, after a good CB. And then again a consolidation here, you see. A good consolidation. So if you place your buy order above this with the SL, I think for a 50% move, 6% SL would never hurt you. So this is basically how you have to go. These are the kind of stocks that you have to look for. Gujarat Gas is a good one. Career Point, again, see what is happening. A good stock, good move in the making. Angel One will take some time. And I think I clearly explained this about this stock in the video. You may see that. Again, see APL Limited, what is happening here? Below the breakout levels, far below the breakout level, the consolidation happened. Event was there, inside bar. Let's see the weekly. Goes above 10, inside bars above 10. You buy in these inside bars, SL will be here. And you simply sell here because it is from the breakout level. Now it might take a lot of time to set up, right? So why not just make money, keep rotating it? As I said, you will simply make good trades. Now so we have talked about the exits, right? If the breakout level is very near, you will ride the stock with 20 and 50 moving averages of the daily. If it's not, you will exit at the breakout level. And what else? Well, the position size. How much do you take at risk? See, when you're operating on monthly, you cannot take 0.5% risk on the capital. You will have to go for 1 to 3% risk on the capital because your SLs are going to be somewhere around 6 to 10%, right? But you have to understand that because you are not here to make 10-15%, you are here for 50-60% or so through a single stock. Try to have a position size of at least 30 to 40% in a single stock, which tells you that at a time you can only have 2 stocks in your portfolio, which makes the point of stock selection very important. So going back to whatever I've taught you, right? Take care of these 3 things. If you get a good stock like that, stick with it. It will reward you handsomely in a very simple manner. You won't have to do a lot. And the return will come in just a couple of months. And I think that is good enough, right? So if you have 2 stocks, one stock gives you 60%, another gives you, let's say, 20%. I think you're still making good. So try to do this pretty simple strategy. Doesn't need a lot of your time. You have to scan in a year only for 12 times. I don't think I'm asking for too much, especially if you are looking to make 30% returns annually through stock markets, investing in equity and ETFs. This applies for all the ETFs as well. Make sure you go through those charts as well. It will serve as a good practice for you. So if you're somebody who likes to invest in ETFs, please use this strategy. This will really help you a lot. So I've explained stock selection, entry, stop losses, exits, and position size, and I've shown you the recent examples as well. I hope you will do justice to the video by practicing a lot. So yeah, if you have any doubts, if you want to discuss anything, please use the comment section of the video. I'll see you very soon.